Okay, so let's get to create a folder that is going to house the whole of our project. So I'm going to be using the desktop to start with. At some point, I'm going to move the folder to the documents directory, but I want it to be very explanatory for starters because this tutorial is for those that are new to programming as well as those that are already experienced. Okay, so I'm going to come to the middle of the desktop. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on new folder. Okay, so this is my new folder. I'm going to click inside here and rename. Just click inside there and try to rename this untitled folder to microservices. Okay, then press the enter key so it becomes the name. So you can see the folder here, microservices. I'm going to close it back. So this is the folder that is going to house our various services. We are going to be having auth service. We are going to be having a learning management service. We're going to be having a student management service. We're going to be having a question and answer service because this is going to be an educational technology project. Most of you that have been following me know that that is the area that I'm specialized. But this educational learning management project is going to be more than that because it's going to also have a payment system inbuilt. So with this project, you're going to learn a whole lot how to make services work with one another. We're going to be detailing that for you so that you understand what it takes to build a whole full standard project. I'm going to be deploying to AWS. Okay, so let me start up by going to Visual Studio Code. So I'll bring up, this is my Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to try to open these very project microservices inside this Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to make sure that I make this to take up the whole screen so that it will be visible for everybody that is looking at it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to folder file and I'm gonna say open folder. I'm trying to open the folder that I just created on the desktop. Okay, so once I click on that, I have this out. So I'm gonna click on desktop because that's where I created the folder. You can see that is the only folder in the desktop microservices. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna click on open in order to open it up in my VS Code because I want to start working. Okay, so you can see microservices here in my VS Code. So now I'm going to be creating the folders that is going to be housing the different microservices. So I'm going to be having the auth service, like I said, the learning management system, the Q&A for JAM, past questions, WIEC, and the rest of them. So you're going to see how you build out a project that has all these. This project is going to have a whole lot. So you're going to be learning a whole lot. You're also going to be learning how to combine tech stacks to build a project. You're going to be using majorly is Node.js, TypeScript, JavaScript stack. But at some point, we're going to be using artificial intelligence and we're going to be using Python to do that. And at some point, we're going to also be bringing in some services using C#. So you're going to learn how to, because we are using microservices, we can have a way of having all these work together. And I'm going to be showing you that. We're going to be using RabbitMQ for Node.js messaging management for the microservices. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my terminal. So to bring up your terminal, you can simply press Ctrl backtick. So you can see this is my terminal with Ctrl backtick. I'm able to bring it and you can see microservices. So I'm going to be creating the various services that are going to be working that we're going to be working on with this project. So I'm going to be saying make dir. So this is the command to create a new folder. Okay, make dir. It simply means make the directory, and the name of the directory is going to be auth, auth. So auth simply means the, 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 the microservice that is going to be managing your login, logout, your session, how the application knows that this student is logged in at a time. So the auth is going to manage that. So I'm going to press the enter key and you can now see that this service is now created here, auth. Okay, so the next service I'm going to be creating, I'm going to still use the same command, make gear. I'm going to call it Learning Management System, LMS. Then I'm going to press enter again, so you can see the LMS service. Yeah, all these, the auth is going to be its own Node.js TypeScript application that is going to be connected to a database, which could be MongoDB, could be Postgres, it could be um, Google Firestore, or any database. You understand? So it's going to be entirely different from what we are going to be having in our LMS, and we are building it in such a way that it's loosely coupled. So when one service is down, you can be using things from the other services. And even if there are messages that are in queue during that time, once it comes up, with the help of RabbitMQ, the service that was down is still going to know what happened while it was down. Okay, so we're going to be using best practices for this, and you're going to like it. So I'm going to be also using MakeDeal to create the other service, which is going to be Q and A. So I'm doing it this way so that it's very easy for me to capture moving forward. Okay, so Q and A. So I'm going to also be having MakeDeal. I'm going to be having payment. So this is going to be the payment system that this application is going to be having. Okay, so I'm also going to be building out the front ends. So the front end I'm going to be building first would be the MakeDeal. This one is going to be a React project with time. So it's going to be the Q and A front end. Okay, and finally for now, I'm going to be having the front end of the whole of the website, the main website. So I'm going to say MakeDeal, and I'm going to call this just front end. Okay, so these are the services that we're going to be having for now. So we're going to be going into each of these services, and we're going to be doing our normal bootstrapping our normal Node.js application. So I'm going to do that first with I'm going to be starting out with the Q&A service, because that's the service I want to build out. Now, I want you to understand why do you think I want to start with the Q&A service? Why would I want to make such a decision? Now, I want to do that because auth service, I can actually use third-party auth service to manage this application. I can do that. So I'm going to be starting with the one that I feel that I don't want to use third-party application for. Then I can start out by using a third-party application for the auth service, pending the time I create my own. Okay, so you can see that an error is showing us here that MakeDeal, because I made a mistake in the spelling. So I'm going to say MakeDeal, and I'm going to say front end, so that it does the right thing. Okay, so I'm going to bootstrap the Q&A first. So in order to do that, so you can see all the folders that I have. I can simply press ls to see all the folders. You can see I have the auth service, the front end, which is going to be the front-facing web application that anybody that wishes to visit this microservice application is going to see first before it can see other front ends for the other applications, if that is the way I'm going to be going. So you can see the elements, the payment, the Q&A, and the Q&A front end. So in order for me to go into the Q&A, I'm going to simply say cd Q&A, press the enter key. So I'm now in the Q&A folder, the Q&A service. So I'm going to try to start up this service so that I can do the right things there. Okay, so yeah, I'm also going to be showing you how to use Google Copilot for this project, how to set it up. So I'm going to be stopping here for now. So in subsequent class, we're going to move forward. So what did you learn? How to basically set up the folders for a microservice. So the main folder housing the whole microservice or your application, then the various services. Yeah. Thank you. See you when I see you.